Everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome among us. Sorry for being a little bit late. We were having problem with the audio with one of us, so hopefully it is solved for now. And if you hear something weird coming out of the voice of one of us, well, now you know why. All right, so welcome to Drakenmemoria. For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome. For those returning, welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you all with us. And please, if you're there, when you arrive, just say hi in the chat. If someone sees it, they are going to answer it. And it's always fun to know that there's actually someone listening. All right. And for those of you who might be wondering what this is, well, it's Dungeons and Dragons and a group of people playing it. So, if that's not for you, well, you should probably change channel, because we're not changing our plans. All right. And for those who might be wondering about a few things that we're doing, this is Homebrewed Universe campaign. Even a few rules have been changed slightly. So everything on Patreon is written there. If you're curious about what has been changed, although I will be revising the rule for healing. I thought it was a bit muddy the way that it was explained, so making it a little bit more clear and easy. All right. Healing for short rest and long rest. Sorry. I think that's everything that I need to say before we start. So, did anyone check for sound?
Yes, I did.
All right. So, last episode, the party decided to see how they fit in the working of the garden. Mainly how to live there well and find quests, which ended up being something very difficult to understand, apparently. We've had audience who, well, not very surprisingly, of course, had a lot of trouble understanding how it was working. However, everyone else also seemed to have problems understanding how this magical technology worked. And unfortunately for the party, the only one who understood it easily is the only one who has trouble talking in general. So, after spending probably more time than they would care to admit trying to figure this out, they decided to go with the vote of the Dragonborn Paladin and take the strongest, meanest, baddest monster they could find on the board and try and go kill it. Because what could go wrong? So, they took everything they needed to, or so they believed, and they left, made their way to a small town, and then kept on going to their destination. After a day of walk, because they decided to go straight for their goal and not go town hopping as they have been so far doing, they are forced to spend 2 days under the stars. When the first day came to an end, they were trying to look around, find a good place to sleep, find a area that would fit well for a campfire. And just as they were finding it, Remy realized that things were too quiet around them. He tried his best to warn everyone, and surprisingly, but also not surprisingly enough, only audience understood the message right away. Don't worry, Others understood it after, but each in their own time. And so they managed to prepare themselves, draw weapons, prepare to cast. And this is where last episode ended. And so for this episode, we are going straight for the battle map, which I have created one for this encounter. And I forgot to send one to my players so they know what it looks like. I knew I was forgetting something.
MIA, by the way, on the map.
Yes.
Okay.
So, well, right now, I'd say you were looking around to find a good place to sleep, so I would most likely place you in the center. Think about where you want to go, and I will send you a static map on Discord so you can look at this, not having to switch to the I forgot Twitch. Sorry. Alright, so here's a static one sent to you on the Discord. Alright. So, where are you all exactly? I'd say the place that you're looking at to be interesting, you know, something that covered you a bit from the wind and everything like this. Looks a bit like what I just sent and what you can see on the Discord. Where do you want to be? You'd be about where you are right now on the picture, but where exactly do you want to go?
Let's see, I was making my way, when we last ended, I was making my way with my sword drawn back towards the Kenku to protect, because I had actually gotten the message. So I'd be near Remy, probably.
Okay.
In the party. So I'd be near the rest of the party. And I don't know how spread out everyone else was.
Okay. So, Remy, where would you be?
Trying to look. Honestly, he would probably have thought to maybe look for a place that you might consider cover, or maybe not, or at least just like a little bit out of the way.
Well, right now you're center and you're lower center of the map, and there is a log just one square away from you.
Yeah, so I maybe would have probably moved somewhere closer to that log.
All right, so audience close to Remy. Fisher, where would you be?
Where I am now looks good.
All right. And Anvara. Right now, if you got the static map, your position is C11. So we've got Remy and audience at D8 and E9, Fisher at F11, and where would you be? I can't hear you.
Uh-oh. That's not what you want.
I can't hear you, Anvara. Yeah, your sound is gone again. I think this might be something else than what you played with. Maybe, I don't know, a cable that is...
Listen to the sound of silence.
The hills are alive with the sound of silence.
All right. So, once again, Anvara is going to try and, well, settle the problem with her microphone. Because when we started, I swear I could hear him talk. Him, her.
Yeah, for a little bit it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. We need to make our technical difficulties jingle to play
Probably.
when we have our technical difficulties.
Your call is very important to us.
No, still can't hear you.
The rest of us could roll initiative while we wait, I guess, to save some time.
Something.
Yeah, sure. You can roll for initiative. Meanwhile, if you want, just to write in the Discord where the position of Anvara, I could place her, and we can try and solve this while we're playing.
Good start. Not only going to be the...
When you touch your earphone, your microphone lit up. Now it's closed. Now there's no light on it.
The light blinks on for a second when you touch your earphone. Headphone. I got a 6, by the way.
Haha, I win. I got a 4.
You beat.
Wait, I don't think that's winning.
Oh.
I'm sorry, is this not golf? Are we not going for the lower?
We cannot go with the lower number here. Because these dice definitely think I'm playing golf.
Well, there's advantage and disadvantage to being first and last. You don't get to hit first, but the enemy can't really protect himself from you when you start. Okay.
The trick is that I actually want them to come to me. It's all a ploy.
I mean, that actually might be doable, all things considered, depending on what my next roll is.
All right. Anvara, I could hear the noise in your room right now.
Which is confusing.
Yes.
3 million headsets, one of them has to work.
Aha,
Hey!
yes. It was sort of weird
So that's-
because we could hear you rummage around in your room.
Oh, that probably just
Yeah.
means that we were hearing through their computer microphone.
No, well, yeah, that's because I disconnected the other headset because I was about to throw this through a fucking wall.
All right. All right, so Anvara, where do you want to be on the battle map?
All right, C12.
C12. So just one further up. All right.
There we go.
Joke's on you, they're all actually coming from behind us.
Yeah. I,
All right. So initiative. Remy, your initiative?
I rolled a 22.
Oh, baby.
That just means I wasted my good roll for the night, so...
9 plus 4, I got 13 on initiative.
13. All right. Audience
6.
and Fisher.
4.
Always a good number. And the enemy got a very interesting... Alright. So, as you're all preparing for monsters to come out and attack you, well, you are not surprised. Oh, sorry. Alright, So we're
Surprising no one, they were attacked.
Alright. So I'm placing the monsters on the map right now. Yes, there are very small monsters and there are normal size monsters. That's because you have small monsters and normal size monsters on the map. That's too big.
On a large audience is disappointed.
Well, when he sees what it is, he might not be disappointed. So how? Come on, all right. And all right. And one appearing here, and one approaching through here. All right. And here is what the battle map looks like. And what you see coming out of the woodwork all around you are goblins and hobgoblins.
Alright.
I don't remember if one of you can actually talk hobgoblin.
I speak goblin.
You speak goblin? And well, hobgoblins and goblins, it's mostly the same dialogue. You might be missing a few nuance, but that's about it.
Is hobgoblin a specific? I didn't realize it was not just under the umbrella.
In the
Or is it like an Australian speaking slang?
probably something like that.
Yeah, you're more. It's more of like a dialectical sort of thing. It's like it's sort of like primordial, where there is like 4 different languages, but they're all kind of connected under primordial.
So maybe there are a few nuances that are going to escape you when they're talking, but you're gonna get what they mean by this. And if I'm not mistaken, Anvara also can understand. And again, we have lost the sound. I don't think it's your headphone the problem. I think it's your computer. All right.
Maybe just use the computer, since that seems to keep working. You can deal with the quality.
No. Maybe you can always just use the computer, since we could hear what was going on in your room. We're so very sorry for this small technical difficulties.
Anvara has decided to cast silence.
On herself.
Yes.
Oh,
It is,
I could hear that. I can't hear that anymore.
The ultimate silent treatment.
I can't hear you though because hang on.
Aha, I can hear you now.
Wait, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I think he said that he couldn't hear us.
Yeah, okay. So he needs to figure out a way for his headsets to work. But his computer, he just used the computer mic.
Maybe this is gonna work.
All right.
Yes,
I can hear most of what you said.
Okay, this is the most redneck jerry-rigged moonshine cousin fucking shit I could ever conjure up. It's working.
All right, let's go with this. It's working.
Oh my god.
There's probably, once the stream is over, you should check if there's been an update on Skype.
Or even just like a computer update you're missing, or a driver update.
Bravo.
That happens.
All right, so Fisher and Anvara, you can both hear a bit of what they're saying because they're speaking in their own language. So you can hear the one that is the highest up on the map, so H8, come up to the others, the other goblins, and say, oh, "Come on, you maggots! What are you waiting for? There's only 4. Always have to push them into combat." Then you hear the other one at the bottom of the map just say, and they're not even all there yet. Come on, attack them! And you see immediately the goblins preparing for attack, but unfortunately for them, Remy, you beat their initiative by a lot. So you are the first one to act.
Alright then, so I guess the first thing I'm going to do is actually I'm going to kind of use the log as the cover for a bonus action hide. It's like, I believe in you. Die roll. Where's my yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to do it with a 23.
Well, we'll see how they react to this. So you try and squeeze yourself as much as you can between branches of the log. Try and make yourself very discreet.
And then I'm going to use my regular action to fire an arrow at the goblin at B7.
All right. He would be at half cover because just in front of him there is a rock formation, and you're firing at a small creature.
Although, am I hidden from them?
Yes. Well, stealth? At least the one you're firing on, yes, you are.
Okay. Then I should get advantage on it regardless.
Yeah, but you still get a -5 if I'm not mistaken.
I can accept that. Let's see.
Isn't half cover 2 and 3/4 is 5?
Oh,
if I remember.
You might be right.
So I don't think that 2 is gonna matter that much. Does a... Let's see... Oh yeah, does a 25 hit?
Yes.
Right, so then that would be...
Yes, you're right. It's -2 for half cover. So, yeah, don't worry, you hit.
Right, so then from the arrow shot, that's a 4 plus 4, so that's 8. And then since I had advantage, I get sneak attack. 4 and 3. So that'll be 15 total damage on that goblin.
All right. So you hide. Where'd my arrow go? All right. You hide. You hide inside a log. Turn around. Shoot just as he's coming out, preparing to attack, and you hit him square on. The bolt just goes through his head, and he falls to the ground. You manage to kill it in one shot.
All right, Raimi is satisfied and ends his turn. Life preserved.
All right. The next one in the initiative would be Anvara with a 13.
All right.
We have sound.
Yes. At last. Anvara is going to advance on the creature on C15. Mace drawn.
All right. It is a small goblin. Just getting, because it's not easy to see, but those things that look like bushes are actually trees. I was having trouble finding interesting trees, but so this one is just coming down the tree, and you are surprising him as he is watching at you, believing that he was going to be the first to attack.
I'm just going to walk up on him and smack him square in the face with my mace.
Let's see if we can turn this goblin into gelatine.
+4, that's going to be a 14 to hit.
Unfortunately, he manages to dodge your attack. Barely, but he manages.
Though my strength falters, my faith shall not. And I bonus action cast spiritual weapon.
All right. I'm gonna have to make a small token for your spiritual weapon. Huh.
Yeah. You do get to go ahead and make an attack roll for that one.
Yeah, no. I'm just waiting for our DM to get the.
Oh no, I don't. I don't have it. I forgot that you had the spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to build one for your spiritual weapon. So where do you want it to appear?
Right behind him.
All right. All right.
And it's a halberd, just for flavor. And you go ahead and smack him up. That's a D8 +3. Where's my D8? There you are. It's going to be a total of 7.
But the attack roll.
Yeah, that's a. Oh, sorry,
That's all right.
thought I told you that was a 16 I rolled.
Yes, that does hit.
All right, so that's going to be want me to re-roll damage? Or?
No, that's all right.
All right.
So you said you did how much damage? 7?
That's going to be 7. 7, yeah.
All right, well, your spiritual weapon managed to do what you weren't able to do, and it does hit him, but however, it does not kill it.
Unfortunate.
You managed to hit him square on, and smarts does it. Yes, he even managed to not fall from the tree. So, but it is injured severely. It is a wound that is bleeding profusely. Why am I having so much trouble talking tonight? All right, next one in the initiative. Well, it is all of the monsters. And so, the monsters go ahead. Let's go with the lower half of the map. So, we're gonna have one of the hobgoblin and one of the goblin attacking Anvara. Fisher. There's going to be 2 goblins that you can see that are going to attack you, and one coming out from on the other side of the log near you, going for you. Audience, you get a hobgoblin and 2 goblins. And Remy, there are 2 goblins coming out from behind the rock and attacking you. And there is another one sheepishly arriving in the battle map completely at the top. And this is what this looks like. Alright, so we're gonna go with Anvara first. You got 2 attacking you. This one is the hobgoblin. The hobgoblin attacks you with a 19.
That hits.
That hits. Alright, the hobgoblins use a long sword. Where's my d8? There's one here.
Big boy.
Yeah. He's not using it two-handed, so you are hit for a whopping 3 points of damage.
Oh no. I'm gonna cry to my light Jesus later.
And so, with one hand, he seems to be giving orders. This is why he's not using both hands on his long sword. And as soon as he's finished, he just jumps at you and hits you with just a small scratch. The other goblin attacks you with a 15.
Nope.
Well, apparently he's not any better at hitting you than you are at hitting him. He jumps down, tries to hit you, but you... well, I relatively easily dodge out of the way. Fisher, you get 3 goblin attacking you. Alright. One attacks you with a 14.
Nope.
One attacks you with a natural 1. And the last one attacks you with a 19.
That one does hit.
The 19 does hit. Alright. So, this goblin... wow. These goblins attack you for a 3 hit points of damage. He runs up to you, uses his scimitar, screams as he's approaching you, and yeah! Toom! Well...
Did you say 3?
yeah.
Right.
Very impressive attack. He was screaming, throwing himself at you, and that's what happened. Audience, same thing for you. You have a hobgoblin and 2 goblin attacking you, and...
come on!
good lord, why can't anyone attack you? Seriously, since we've started, I think that I rolled at maximum 5 or 6 attack roll higher than 10. Okay. So...
I have just natural armor, natural charisma. People don't want to hit me. Too handsome.
yeah. You're too pretty to kill.
Be a thing for bards.
Alright, so... yeah, I think he was supposed to, but changed his mind because there were supposed to be a lot of bards in the group originally. Okay, so, 1 goblin attack you with a 8, 1 goblins attack you with a 6, and the hobgoblin attacks you with a 18.
They all miss.
They all do their best to attack you, and you simply dodge out of the way of one, dodge out of the way of the second, and then block the third one with your shield.
Ah, is that
They
the
did their
best you
best.
can do?
Remy, you are attacked by 2 goblins. See, those are rolls that I should have had with the audience. I get a 21 and a 20.
Sorry, Randy.
Yeah, both of those hit.
All right.
I can't even shield those.
I'm gonna throw these dice away. So you get hit for a 3 points of damage, followed by another 3 points of damage. They just jump around you, trying to scare you a little bit, and they attack, and then, they both attack, they both hit for the minimum amount of damage that they can possibly do.
He shouts out.
And then the last one is going to try and use his short bow to attack. Well, the most impressive is audience, so let's try and get him. No, he wouldn't be able to fire at this angle. So he has to advance. Now he can hit you.
You can try.
And he has a 19!
He actually did hit me.
He actually hit. You don't have your shield drawn?
No, I do have my shield drawn. 19 hits.
All right, I thought you were 20 with your shield.
Nope. I am 19 AC.
All right. He managed to hit you with a short bow. Oh, this is the second time you've been injured so badly in your life. As an adventurer, you get hit for 8 points of damage.
Oh, that was a hefty hit.
Yeah, it is as much damage as you can do. So this one just waits for the right moment, look at you, and then shoot his arrow, and he actually managed to hit you. You get a little scratch on your shoulder, you know.
I turned to the three in front of me. You should get out of my way. He seems to be the only threat among you.
Alright, so they have all attacked and did an impressively low amount of damage to the group. The next one would be audience.
Alright. Seeing the hobgoblin as the biggest, I will hit him.
Go ahead.
With a 25.
That does it. Easily.
Alright. Then I will Divine Smite him.
Alright.
So, prop one of those. Then I'm going to roll 3d8s. Alright. Uh, 13. 20 plus 5. And I will hit him for 25 damage.
Okay, well, you hit him as hard as you can, and the Divine Smite emblazes your weapon as it strikes down right toward him, and he goes down in a single blow.
I turn to the other goblins and I say, see, that would happen to your leader. What do you think's going to happen to you?
Yeah, goblins can understand common, so they heard that. Alright. Well, it definitely doesn't help their morale. And we end with Fisher.
I will pull back my great axe and cover it in green fire before swinging at one of the three in front of me, the one at F12, and use green flame blade.
Okay.
Uh, 23.
That does hit.
So that is 12 on the one I hit, and 3 fire damage on the one next to him.
Alright. Well, as your great axe comes down on the goblin that you initially attack, it just goes right through him. You cleave him in two, he falls to the ground, screaming as he is also slightly burning with green flame. And the other one beside him also is burning. But this one is still alive. You said 3 points of damage?
Yeah.
Alright. And we go back to the top of the initiative with Remy.
Okie dokie. So, see, I haven't had to ask this question in a bit, but would pulling out? I'm assuming a free action to pull out only one weapon, correct?
Yes.
Okay. In which case,
You can always, this is always a possibility, you can also just drop a weapon that you have in hand and take another one out. I wouldn't give you any penalty for that.
Oh no, it's just like I was asking if I would be able to do 2 weapons, but I believe that's more of like a 1.
Actually, I think that's a feat.
No, I mean like the ability to pull out 2 weapons using the same free action after dropping.
No, I know. I mean, I think that this is a feat. There's a feat that allows you to draw 2 weapons at the same time without cost.
I don't remember there being a feat for that.
It's part of dual wielder. It's the one that lets you use 2 one-handed weapons instead of light weapons.
Oh no, every character can do that. It's just that the feat gives you extra stuff on top of it. The rules are stupid in terms of like making it all work. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and drop my short bow. I'm going to pull out my short sword, and then I'm going to make an attack on the goblin at C. I believe that's C7.
Yeah.
That's okay. That will be a 15.
It hits. Barely.
Thank Christ.
It just
I'm not
hits.
going to thank Christ. That will be for 7 damage.
All right. All right.
And then that's all I can do for my turn for now.
All right. I was just trying to see the. All right. So. Yeah. For what we were saying, the feat dual wielder, you can draw or stow 2 one-handed weapons when you would normally be able to draw or stow only 1. That's the feat that I was mentioning.
Okay, I must have forgotten that first part of it. I usually remember dual wielder for the other features. But anyway.
Yes, it's the last one of the 3 bonus that it gives. A lot of people don't read the last one. It's important. All right. So you attack this first one with your short sword, and well, you do manage to injure him, just not kill him. It is a severe injury. He is bleeding profusely. He is not liking this day. So the next one is Anvara. You have a hobgoblin and a goblin in front of you.
Right. Wind up another big old smack with my mace towards the hobgoblin.
All right. The hobgoblin. All right.
Yep. BC. That's going to be 16.
16 to hit for the hobgoblin does not hit. He managed to brush your attack with this shield.
All right. Well, goblin's taking another hit of sacred halberd.
Go ahead.
Another 16.
That does hit for the goblin.
Goblin wishes he could be the hobgoblin.
5 plus 3, 8.
8 points of damage?
Yep.
All right, well, you try and hit the hobgoblin, do not succeed. However, you manage to tail your weapon to attack the goblin, which does succeed and cleaves him, killing him from the accumulated injuries that you manage. That, well, actually, all the damage was done by your spiritual weapon. So you're...
Screw it, I'm a hexblade now.
It's like, fuck this.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Move?
No, I'm just going to brace for impact from what the hobgoblin's about to swing me.
All right. In that case, it is their turn. And yes, of course, the hobgoblin will try and attack you. He will try to kill you. but does not, because he rolled a 6.
Yeah, no. About 12 short.
Alright. Let's go with everything else. Fisher, you get attacked by 2 goblins. With a 10 and an 8.
No. Combined, they would. But no.
Yeah, that's always a thing, you know. If they could combine. Audience, you get attacked with a 11 and a 21.
21 hits.
21 hits. You get hit by 1 scimitar. Hits that does a whopping 4 points of damage.
Dude, audience is not used to being hit so much. This is too much. He's actually losing health. Crazy.
This is disorienting.
I'm down to just a little under like 2 of our party's max HP.
I will rub it in, why don't you?
And just as you take this small injury, and this is the second time in this adventure that you've been injured like this, and you see an arrow just fly by above your head with a natural 1.
Just shake my head at the goblin this and just I thought you were something and you disappointed me.
To be fair, a lot of things go over your head.
Damn. Alright. Well, that hurt more than the scimitar.
Just
1 point of
Vicious
psychic
mockery,
damage.
D4 of psychic damage.
Vicious mockery, why don't you?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And
That's a 1, don't worry.
and Remy, you get attacked by 2 goblins. 1 with a 12, 1 with a 8.
Both of those miss.
Damn, you are nimble. Alright. Managed to duck, dive, weave, and dodge every single blow coming your way. And so we go down to audience.
Alright. Seeing the 3 goblins so nicely lined up in a line for me, I'm going to use my breath weapon, which exactly reaches 30 feet to the goblin with the bow, and roll, let's see, my 2d6. And they have to. You can make this save now. For they have to succeed on a what's it? A Dex DC 12, and they get half damage on a success. They have to beat Dex DC 12.
They all beat it.
All right. Well, they are all taking 3 points of lightning damage then.
So you unleash the full fury of your breath weapon, and they all manage to mostly dodge out of the way, just singeing a bit their shoulder, and one bit his face, but, you know. They all rolled... The normal roll was all above 12. We got a 13, 14, and 18, and that's before the dexterity bonus. Apparently, it works both ways. I can't hit you, but you're having trouble hitting me.
Well, I am hitting you. You're just not taking a lot of damage from it.
yeah. Tickling.
All right. So they all took 3 points of damage. All right. And then we go with Fisher.
I will use Green Flame Blade again and hit the one at G12.
All right. And by the way, you just saw a beam of lightning energy zip by your ear, or where they should be anyway.
Mm-hmm. I trust audience in combat. That is a 15 to hit.
15 does hit. Exactly.
Oh wait, no, that's 17. But
17. Well, then in
hits.
that case, it's even more.
So that is, 14 to the one at G12 and 3 to the one at G11.
Well, in that case, the one that you hit square on does not resist your blow and simply falls to the ground, while the other one, after being singed by lightning, is getting eaten by green flame energy. He is not having a very interesting day.
And then in Goblin, I will go, you guys really needed to plan this out better.
Well, in that case, what you see the one in front of you being very scared of what you just said, but also you see in his eye that I don't know why I keep adding the H.
I believe in you. You got this.
Yeah. You can see in his eyes that he is scared. He wants to go away. And as you say that, you see him give a glance at the hobgoblin, and then you realize that he's more scared of the hobgoblin than you. So
I am aware of the inner workings of that relationship.
All right.
Amala, you just need to hit him. Just need to kill him, bud. And then they'll run away.
I'm trying, but
She is doing her best.
I got 2 words for you. Be better.
Wow.
1v1 me after this.
Don't challenge audience to that. He'll gladly
All
accept.
right. So we go back up to Remy.
All right, so going to take another stab at the same goblin as previous.
All right.
With that short sword. See where that gets me. That'll be a 14, though.
14 does not hit.
You know what? Then I'm going to pull out my dagger and go for a second hit.
All right.
Oh, that fell out of the bowl. Ah, where did you go? Oh, seriously, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Let's try that again. Oh, it is a nat 20 though, so I guess I'll accept this.
Yeah.
It's a shame that it's only a D4. All right, so 4 on the die and 1 on the die, so 5 total damage.
The die. Oh, all right. So you already doubled the die. All right. So you get 5 damage total. Well, that's.
Yeah, it's like.
Phew. I thought I'd. So you actually managed to hit him just where it hurts really bad. Your dagger plunges very deep inside his chest, and you just see him fall to the ground. It was just enough to kill him.
Thank God. The only sucky part about dual wielding without the fighting style is that you don't get to add your mod to it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that ends Remy's turn.
All right. Anvara, it is your turn again. You are alone in front of the hobgoblin.
I look at him and just say in Goblin, only a coward lets his men die for him. And with that, another big ol' swing from the mace.
Go ahead.
Oh, and I'm gonna hit the bitch 18.
18 is exactly what you need.
Whoa. Guys.
Hobgoblins wear chainmail and shield.
It's a D6. Hang on, where are you? 6 plus 2, 8.
All right. You hit him, and he does not like this at all. You have a feeling that you probably managed to hit something that will affect his resolve. Sorry, because it is a mace. So you manage to just whack him with your mace, and his knees almost buckle under the hit that he just took, and there is blood on your mace, dripping down his most likely thigh. Anything else? He's
How
still
tall is a
alive.
hobgoblin?
A hobgoblin is a medium-sized creature, so he's most likely the same height as a human. And for those who might be wondering, yes, we did solve the problem of how tall Anvara is. It appeared that it wasn't rolled, so we rolled, and now we have learned that it is basically Uma Thurman with red hair.
Yeah, 6'2" elf, 120 pounds, every 30
Maximum height for an elf. So,
Alright.
What else did you want to do?
I have 10 turns gone since I first summoned my spiritual weapon.
if
not even
how
close.
long?
That's it.
Been like two,
Two.
hasn't it?
No, turns, I think, because it's a minute total that it lasts.
No,
Oh, no, it's
every
been-
every round of combat is 6 seconds.
Yeah, so it's been
Yeah, I know.
about 18 seconds right now.
Ah, sweet. Then guess who's getting smacked with the holy halberd?
Go ahead.
Alright. Oh, 17.
17. He managed to brush off the attack with his shield. And so for usually with spells, when they say 1 minute, it means for one battle, because it's very rare that a battle will go as far as 10 rounds.
Okay.
But it happens. But usually no. It's
Okay.
usually after the 5th battle, if the fight is still going on, everyone is in pretty bad shape.
Alright.
It's like
Anvara
there's
just
some spells
looks
that
at
take,
the...
like 10 minutes.
I was gonna say until later levels when you got the last more than 10 rounds.
Oh,
Anvara
even
just looks at...
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Anvara looks at the goblin, just smacks her shield with her mace a couple of times, just like in a brilliant motion.
Come on!
Are you not entertained?
Alright, so it's his turn. Well, apparently he likes someone that is a bit feisty, so he's gonna attack you again. And apparently you really managed to disorient him because he just rolled a natural 1.
Is that 3 nat 1s for you this fight?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow, that's...
I am not kidding, and I really don't like it all that much. I'm trying to build, encounters with a little bit of challenge, but I am really having a hard time rolling above 10.
I mean, this has been the most challenging encounter for audience so far, so good job on that.
Yeah.
Slimes do the trick. AC doesn't matter.
Yep.
Alright, so he tries to hit you and doesn't hit you at all. So we go with Fisher, who gets hit with a natural 20. Yay!
Whoa.
Oh, it's really good for the nerves. So you see you see this goblin scream at you and just try and hit you with as mighty a hit as it can, hitting you for a 12 points of damage.
Damn.
It was all the fire and lightning he'd just been powered up with. Helped his accuracy.
Wait a minute. Did these goblins somehow learn absorb elements?
Yeah, what? Hey, that's my thing.
So apparently the fear of dying is motivating this one, because he really managed to hit you well. Audience, you get attacked for a incredible 9 and an incredible 19.
Keep sneaking through.
Just barely, just under the armor, and oh yes. And this is
9 next turn.
and you get hit for 3 points of damage. Every time I hit you so far in this battle, it has always been minimum damage.
If you deal 1 more point of damage to me, I can't full heal using my lay on hands. That's information.
Wow. Alright, let's see if the archer can get you under that point. No, he tries to hit you with a 10. You see the arrow coming and you just dodge out of the way. And you look at him with disappointment in your eyes.
So much disappointment.
Remy, you are alone with a goblin. Someone the same height as you. And
technically, I think I'm taller.
Probably. By a little, yeah. Most likely. So he tries to hit you with a 9.
And that's nothing doing.
Alright, well, it's Remy's turn again.
Alright, so prepping that short sword. That'll be a 23.
It does hit. Easily. You take advantage of the fact that he overextended himself while trying to hit you.
And he takes 8 points of damage.
It is a nasty hit, but he is still alive.
Going for the dagger strike.
What did you say, audience?
Oh, I said I thought after the goblins I thought after the goblins me and Fisher still had to go because we had lower initiative.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, did we accidentally skip them?
I feel like I got skipped.
Yeah, I was like back to.
All right. No, sorry.
But...
Yeah, I was going the wrong way in my. Oddly enough, the numbers for the initiative are in order on my table, so I was suddenly went back up again. We'll do just after. So the second hit was.
Oh, the second hit is a 17, and I rolled a 3 on the die.
Well, you do not manage to kill him. However, the injury is extremely severe, and he crumbles to the ground, one knee to the ground, looking at you with pleading eyes. All right, audience, go ahead.
I'm going to hit this golem that's been so annoying to my right. Actually done the most damage to me. And I am going to at least attempt to hit him with a 16.
It does hit. Goblins, it hits. It's Hobgoblin that it wouldn't hit.
Alright. And I will roll for 9 points of damage.
Well, he has been already severely injured. It is enough to finish him. And you just cleave him in two. Falls to the ground. Lifeless.
And I turn menacingly back to now the one lone poor goblin who remains in front of me.
And you see fear in his eyes. Fisher?
I will... A little impressed with this little goblin in front of me. Give him a respectful nod and then attempt to chop him in half.
Go ahead.
With a total of 20.
It does hit.
Oh. That is, however, only 6 damage.
Oh. Well, actually, it is just enough for him to die from this.
Oh.
because of the damage that he took from the green flame blade the round before. It is enough.
And the lightning. He took 6.
And the lightning. Yep.
6.
The lightning, the green flame blade, and this is his hit points. And you manage to kill him. So just before killing him, you give him a respectful bow. You watch him in the eyes. And then you kill it. Alright. So we got Grammy, and then... Well, it's them again, because... no, it's Anvara, because before them, it's
Do you want to
Anvara.
use any of your... Before Fish, do you want to use any of your movement, or are you...
Yeah, Fisher, you could move.
Oh, right. Because there's nothing around me.
No.
I will go help out Anvara.
Alright. Where exactly do you want to end?
I will go to B13.
Alright. Alright, Anvara, it is your turn.
Well, seeing my mechanical friend show up for the fun, I'm just gonna drop my mace and shield and try to go for a bit of a cheeky grapple.
Go ahead.
Roll with strength mod. That's gonna be a 20.
Nope, doesn't beat it. So you easily manage to grapple him. Anything else?
Got this buff cleric over here.
Can my halberd get him without, like, scuffing me up?
Yes, you can control it.
Alright. Just gets auto-pleased by my own.
Unless you get a 1. I will consider if you get a 1 that it might hit you.
Well, add 20 to that.
Then it hits.
Alright. Where's my D8? There you go. It's gonna be a 5 plus 3, 8.
8 points of damage. You did nice combination. You restrain him, so he looks at the halberd as it comes down on him and cleaves down.
So I got
on
him like held in a full Nelson as the halberd's coming down. Nice.
Watch it.
Watch your hand coming. The halberd cleaves into him, and you feel his body goes numb. Sorry, goes lifeless. As the halberd draws away from it, you manage to kill it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yep. My only dumb stat is charisma.
Cleric don't need no help.
Alright, so as this occurs, and it is their round, you see the goblins beside Audience and the goblin beside Remy take the disengage action, and they leave. And then they use the nimble escape feature of the goblin and try and hide. Which means... Alright. So, to the best of your abilities, you see the goblin who was shooting with the arrows disappear, hide in the bushes. You see the goblin that retreated from Audience disappear in the bushes. And because of your passive perception, everyone except Ramy's sees the last goblin disappear, but Ramy, you can actually see him trying to make his way out of the fight. You seemingly are the only one who can see him because you rolled too low on his stealth roll and your passive perception is exceeding his roll. So everyone else would fall out of combat unless they want to try and find where they are. I'd say the next one in this would be audience. After seeing this, what do you want to do? They seem to be retreating.
I'll just yell. That's right. Run, cowards. And then I'll go to check on Vala, since I hadn't really, and Fisher, since they're back down that way, and they were also fighting one of the larger goblins.
All right, Fisher, you see them all seemingly vanish, disappear, retreat.
Yeah, no, I ain't trying to let these guys get away. Did I see like a general direction they were going, or did they just disappear into the bushes?
They seem to have been trying to scatter. One went, two of them disappeared toward the northern section of the map, but they both went in different direction, one to the right, one to the left. And the one that was near Remy just went down.
I will use my movement to get to H13, and then can I search as an action?
Well, yeah, you could use perception to try and see if you can see them.
Uh-huh.
So that would be your action, and you would roll a normal perception roll.
That's cocked. That is a 17.
17. All right. Well, where you are, you look around, and you do manage to see one. It is the one escaping down the map. The other two, you don't see where they went. They rolled really high. One rolled extremely low.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the one at A8 who is trying to leave, believing that no one is seeing him.
I will spin around, spend an action surge, and shoot a chromatic orb of
Jesus.
Damn.
lightning at him.
Ugh.
All right.
This poor little goblin.
Fucking goblins, man, they're the worst. Can't let them get away. That's a 18 to hit.
It does hit.
That is 15 points of lightning damage.
Oh, jeez. So, audience and Anvara, you are just beside one another, and the fight seemed to be finished. And then you see Fisher look around, turn around, shoot a chromatic orb. You see this ball of lightning streak toward a point where you couldn't see anything except for Remy, who I was still tracking him. And you see the ball hit something. You hear a goblin scream. You see bits of flesh and clothes tear off of him with the splash of energy of lightning, and you all smell this intense odor that reminds you a bit of bacon. And this ends the fight.
All right.
So with that, Remy is just going to walk up to to audience and say, "It's like, you're right there, my boy."
Ugh. They actually got a few decent hits in, but I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's been at least a month, I think, since you actually saw the color of your blood. So it's weird.
Anyone else take any damage?
Little bastard got the jump on me and got maybe 2 inches through my chainmail. Other than that,
Haha, 'tis only a flesh wound.
exactly.
For everyone.
Took a little more than I was expecting, but
Yeah, you know,
one of them got a lucky shot.
you let your guard down. You were too confident.
And with that, Rami is going to loot the bodies.
Well, there's one that, oddly enough, you think you could slice into him and you'd be able to loot bacon also.
Just like just pre-cured bacon.
Yeah, and this one is, you know, it's lean, it's tight, not a lot of fat, but it still has a strange smell. So, most of what you find is leather armor. The normal equipment of each. You find shields, leather armor, scimitar, short bows, the arrows that goes with it. For the 2 hobgoblins who died, you actually find chainmails and shield, long swords, longbow, provision of arrows. Does anyone? Do you all just leave the looting to Remy, or do you also all scatter and try and see what you can find in each body?
I do not take part.
All right.
I'll do some looting.
I guess I'll rummage for. Yes, Anvar is kind of eyeing a longbow.
Right. So in that case, for everyone, I'm gonna let you decide on how you want to divide the money that you find. You find a total of 4 golds.
Well, living lavish.
34 silver. And 28 copper.
So 7 gold, 6
4
silver,
gold.
and
4 gold.
He's adding them together.
Oh, okay. Well, you actually have to take it as it is. Once you get to a town, you can actually just reformat it.
that's good.
All right, so 352 copper. Start using it as sling ammo.
Yeah, let's go.
So
I mean, we laugh, but
I'm gonna let you divide this as you wish. Since you almost all took part in the loot, you most likely are all aware of what was found.
So we just
All right,
split it equally.
sure. Just saying though, like, well, those long swords is a D8, and I currently have a mace at 6. Could be kind of fun to upgrade.
Go
can
for it.
you are you proficient in long swords?
Yes, I am. I'm a cleric. I'm good with in everything I find. Almost. Not fire level, but I'm proficient in longbow, longsword, short sword, and simple weapon.
She's an elf.
Yeah.
She is
I was about
proficient
to say, like,
in
the
all
elf part
longsword.
is the important part.
Yeah. That is also.
Yeah. So I don't think life clerics usually get proficiency in martial weapons.
No, it's
Nah.
simple weapons, but because she's an elf, she also gets longbow, short bow, long sword. Do they get short sword? I'm not sure.
Yes, I do.
Short swords are automatic because they already have proficiency in simple weapons.
I think
Short
every
swords
Oh,
are
no, short sword is
martial
martial.
weapon, isn't
Excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, anyways,
And-
yes, if you want to upgrade from your mace to the sword, if you don't mind having a long sword that smells a bit of a hobgoblin for a while, yeah, you can absolutely upgrade. There's no problem.
I can definitely live with that for an extra D8.
All right, then you can upgrade your equipment.
Well, they loot. I'm going to use a cure light wounds and 5 points of my lay on hands on myself.
Okay.
And I got a 5, so I'll restore 10 hit points.
Okay.
So then it was 4 gold and how many silver was it?
38. No, 34 and then 28 copper.
Okay, so then everyone at least gets 1 gold, 8 silver, and 7 copper, with 2 silver left over.
Who gets the 2 silver?
I'll forego it since I yoinked longsword.
I will forgo it as well.
Then it is
That's
between
I'll let
Fisher and Reed.
Remy keep it.
Oh, wow. You're given.
You did
such a-
say there.
Yes.
The hobgoblins each had a long sword.
Yes. Long
And
sword,
each had
shield,
chainmail?
and chainmail.
I will nab the other longsword, and how heavy is? That would probably put me over.
Jesus, how much are you carrying? Longsword's only 3
Well, like
pounds.
grabbing another set of chainmail would.
Oh yeah, that's a bit heavier.
Let's see, carrying capacity.
So how many arrows were found total?
So for arrows for the longbow, neither of them use them, so it's 40 arrows. For the short bows, because of how many of them there were, and only one actually used their arrows, I'd say you find close to 50 arrows in total. 49, 50 arrows.
So Brady will take, will go ahead and take like a quiver of arrows for himself.
Okay.
He can't use the longbow, so that's up for somebody else that wants to use it.
If the
Is there a
fighter-
second longbow?
No,
Yes.
there's like I can't use the longbow, so you can perfectly have
each
one of them.
each hobgoblin had a long bow and a long sword. So
Oh, okay. Then I will also take a longbow, and I will take one set of chainmail.
all right.
You take
And
the
I'll
40.
take the other one off, and I'll like toss it on a log or something.
Okay.
Then Anvara's gonna grab the other longbow in that case.
All right.
And there should still be 1 full quiver and 10 arrows. To split between the two of you if you don't already have arrows.
I
As were any of the
You take
leather armors studded leather or just simple leather?
No, just simple letter.
Okay. Raimi sad face.
All right. So a full quiver is 20 or 40?
No, 20 arrows.
20 arrows.
All right, so there's 40 in total, you said?
For the arrows for longbows, there were 40. Each one had a quiver, and they didn't shoot any of their arrows. So
All right.
they
Well,
were confident that they could all kill you in melee because you didn't seem to notice them.
all right. So you want to split the arrows down the middle?
All right.
Speaking to Warforged.
I thought Remy took some of them.
I
For the short bow.
took 1 quiver of arrows.
You took the short bow arrows.
Yeah, for the longbow
okay.
arrows, there were neither of them
Okay,
fired
then-
any, so you can have a full
Yeah,
quiver of
we
arrows.
can split those.
All right, cool.
All right, so after this little fight, do you want to still use this site as a site for your camp, or do you want to look for something else?
No.
I think the
do.
corpses should ward off things that want to attack.
I've dealt with some goblins before. I know sometimes when some of them leave, they'll come back with more. I think we should move on as they now know our location.
Remy nods furiously.
You could always try and hunt them down.
Mm,
Well, you've been looting, separating what you looted, and then talking about getting healed. They've been gone for at least 10 minutes. You'd have a pretty wide area to look into to try and find them.
We're on a mission. I think we're still trying to make the best time possible to impress the Garden. I don't think we have time to, unfortunately, chase down any, few goblins, not knowing where, if they even have an encampment or such.
there.
All right. So, you decide to move on a little bit, go a little bit further down the road, find a better sleeping place. I'd say everyone makes a perception roll.
$18.
What's that?
12.
What's that?
Synthetic 20.
11.
All right. So, Anvara and Fisher, you are the first one who, after maybe 10 or 20 minutes of walking, you do actually manage to spot a place that, all right, it's a bit out of the way. You can mostly see everywhere, so it's also a good or bad, depending on how you want to see this. You won't be able to be surprised by an attack, but there's nowhere to hide. But other than that, it seems to be a good place to bed down and spend the night.
All right. We should set up camp here.
Looks good to me.
It-
Alright, so you go a bit off-road, you prepare your camp, and you spend the night there.
Before I spend the night,
Yes.
I'm gonna use my last spell slot of Cure Wounds on Fisher, as he also looked like he took a hit, as well as, well, let's see what I roll. 10. So actually, I won't use any of my lay on hands. You restore 10 HP,
Alright.
Fisher. I'll use 5 of my lay on hands on Remy, and the other 5 on Vala.
Thank you kindly, Paladin.
I'll dish the healing out to everybody.
Build up.
All right. So we're gonna take our break, and as soon as we come back, we're gonna know if the party wakes up. All right. See you all back in 10 minutes. Bye.
All right.
Drug ability.
Well, that was an interesting thing to come back to.
Oh, did we? That's
Yeah, I pressed transit the moment you said I wonder
Perfectly
if they
timed.
happen.
So yeah, stream, we're just comparing social security numbers. Hopefully they hear that.
Like, we decided that mine was the biggest.
Yeah, you decided that. Yes, we agree.
If your social security was your bank account, how much money would you have?
All right. So, well, as you all wanted to know this a few moments before, just before we went to the break, yes, you all wake up refreshed with your spells back, ready to take on a new day. Absolutely nothing happened during the night. You actually managed to move away far enough. Sorry. During the night, Fisher, you did see something at the limit of your vision, but really didn't stay. You noticed it just walk in, then walk back out. And it didn't come back. So you were far enough, nothing happened. You wake up, everyone is refreshed, your wounds are healed, and you are ready to go back on the road. And I forgot to open my encounter table. Here we go. Alright, so right now you are... I don't know if any of you have the half a map that I sent. Alright.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a place where it's written the entrance to the garden.
Mm-hmm.
The road that you took you upward toward the bigger dot, which was the first town that you encounter. Then what you want to do is go directly toward the mountains. So you went down a little bit, and on the stretch of road to the left, this is where you spend the night, near the crossroad.
Okay.
okay.
So what you do, you keep on going, and as you are... That's not the right dice. And you will keep on going during the day, which will take you between the two lakes. So the day is starting.
Lakes.
Yeah, so it's not that
I see
clear.
them.
I was having a lot of problem trying to take a picture of the map. As I've said, it's about the size of a coffee table. If I tried to pin it behind me, it would be larger than the frame that you have.
Damn.
Yeah, I really drew it by hand.
Cool.
But unfortunately, I have to take the camera so high to be able to take a picture of the whole map that when I tried to zoom in, you could barely see the dots for the villages, the town, and anything at all. So I took 2 days trying to just reframe the lighting, trying to take pictures so that you could see, remove all the shadows, and I couldn't. So I basically sent you the half map that I've been using since you've started this campaign, because it's the clearest.
As long as we can see where we're going.
Yeah. All right, so you keep on moving westward, which will take you between the two lakes. You will actually go above a bridge. Throughout the day, let's see. It is slightly cloudy, but other than that, there's really nothing that special about the day. You do see a bit of cloud rolling in at one point, but the sky is clear. There's no rain. It's the middle of summer, so it's a comfortable, although maybe slightly warm day, especially for Raimi, since it is clear day with a bright sun and he is wearing black feathers. For Fisher, you do not really notice this. Anvara, as an elf, you have a higher tolerance for the climate, so it's still well within your tolerance. Audience, well, you're dragonborn, so you wouldn't say it even if you were hot.
Oh, I'm always hot.
I was waiting for it.
There it is.
Sorry, I was a half second slow on that. I set up. My fault.
It's like
is he gonna say
Raimi, in response to that, is like nodding furiously.
Blame it on the lag.
So, the day itself is rather uneventful up until you get to the bridge, where you find yourself in front of a small group of people. They seem to have taken place on the other side of the bridge. You see a few tents. I'd say from that point it is a little past noon, so maybe 1 or 2 in the evening. It seems to be a group that is bedding down to spend the rest of the day there. They seem to be a bit of a large group, mostly humanoid. Anvara and Raimi, you'd be the first one to notice them. Looks like humanoid. One of them actually does notice you arriving, and you do see that they all become very cautious. Those of them armed, because they're not all armed, are going to the front, but they're not drawing their weapons. However, they do look ready to draw them. So basically, I'd say they're cautious toward a group of an elf, a construct, a dragonborn, and a kenku walking confidently toward them. Do you warn the rest of the party, or do you wait for them to realize this?
And Lara's just gonna do a motion towards the other party that we can see.
All right. Remy, do you do something about this? I think you're muted.
It was like Rainy would have turned around the same time and would have said, "It's dangerous afoot, Raimi." And points over toward where he sees the encampment.
And oddly enough, it is the same place that Anvara is gesturing toward. So, Fisher, audience, do you do anything?
Did you say it's getting late?
No, it's a bit past noon, so it's probably 1 or 2 in the evening.
Okay.
So it looks like a group who is bedding down for the rest of the day. They do look like a large group, but they do seem to be only humanoids. Most likely humans or half humans. Maybe 12 or 13 of them. Only a few of them look armed. They haven't drawn their weapon, but they do look ready to.
I'm not gonna draw my weapon. I'm not worried.
Yeah, no.
Raimi turns to the group and says, "Sometimes, Raimi, you gotta learn how to sweet talk the lady folk."
Audience could learn a thing or two from you.
Audience chooses to ignore that comment.
For some reason, I'm not that surprised.
Selective hearing of things that would hurt his ego.
No, I don't think that in his case it is selective hearing. I think it is a question of belief.
It's about approximately how far away is one of the closest ones, like drawing weapons.
No, like I said, they don't draw weapons, but those who are armed are placing themselves at the front of the party. They're on the other side of this small... sorry, was mixing two words together. Of this small stone bridge.
It's like, about how far away are they?
Right now, I'd say maybe 200 feet.
Does it... She said it's just a bunch of humanoids.
Looks like humanoids.
Does it look like there are any kids? Or...
Make a perception roll.
Old folks?
Is the bridge also 200 feet?
A little bit less.
Yeah. 14?
14. It's a bit hard to tell from where you are. Some of them do appear to be smaller, but from 200 feet, only getting a 14, you'd have difficulty making the difference between kids and halflings.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some who look smaller than the others.
Short, okay. Just trying to...
Yeah, bridge. The bridge is maybe 10 or 20 feet long. It's quite a big bridge. The bridge was made to, sorry for the pun, to bridge the distance between the two cities, because having a large lake sort of is a bit of an inconvenience. So it is a large construction, but it is a big stone bridge, 20-25 feet long.
So are we at like a kind of bottleneck of the lake, or is it two lakes and we're at like a river that connects them?
Right now, it looks like two lakes with a river connecting them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what you'd get from looking at this.
Raimi is going to look toward the group, like I kind of like stand in front of the group, just like, and then he is going to like making gesturing motions, this motion, and then points to himself, and then points over to the people.
Okay. Audience rolled a nat 1 on understanding you, so he has no idea what you're saying.
Okay. So Remy, you with a natural 1, you really do notice quite easily that audience has no clue what you're saying whatsoever. He's probably not even thinking that you are trying to speak.
It's like he kind of gets frustrated a moment. It's just like thinks for a moment, and then says, "Come on, Raimi, speak up." And then he says, "It's like we're gonna send them a message.
Okay.
I don't think we want to send him that kind of message, Ramy. I think
He slaps his
I
forehead.
think these are peaceful people.
I'm saying, yeah, no, I'm just gonna go talk to them, and I'll continue walking.
Just Ramy just like slaps his forehead,
Yeah.
just like.
All right. So you are slowly approaching the bridge. What
The
are
poor
you going
cake.
to
Not with an intelligent group.
You chose Kenku, live with it.
Yeah.
As far as Ramy is concerned, he didn't choose who he is.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't help when you're trying to figure out things, and I get like 5 frames over the course of that.
But that's why I'm also like trying to vocally describe the movements as well, just in case. But
Yeah.
doesn't help with a Nat 1 intelligence roll.
Uh-huh.
I think we have a bit of problem with the bandwidth during this on this session because the image quality keeps dropping and coming back. So
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna keep walking towards the bridge, like just normally, like if anyone else.
all right. So
Oh,
Ramy
yeah,
is-
I'm
Ramy is going
sticking
to
next
speed
to audience.
ahead against audience, and just after he's ahead of them, put his hands up and continue walking down the bridge.
all right. So audience, you
Okay.
confidently.
Like his hands up, like this, or like a stopping motion.
No, like he's like now walking forward with both of his hands, claws up, as if
as if he's
as if
surrendering.
Surrendering.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a confused look. I'm gonna be like, we're not surrendering, Remy. They're just people.
And
He's
Vara
not-
just cocks an
that's-
eyebrow and follows.
I'll lean over to audience and be like, it's not surrendering. It's saying you're coming in peace. You don't have your weapons drawn.
Oh, I assumed that was just implied by the fact that they weren't dead yet.
That's mighty ambitious of you. They look, a little better equipped than that band of goblins we ran into.
Well, obviously,
yesterday.
I never attack innocent people. It was a turn of phrase.
You better not. Hold your full Nelson and have a help go through you at like half a centimeter a second.
Just,
Alright.
making sure, because it didn't look like, you're understanding any of what this Kenku is trying to say.
I don't understand. I'm just walking up to talk to people.
You know what? Okay. Yep, that's... And I'll lag behind a little bit until I'm next to Anvara. And I'll be like, nuance is really lost on that guy.
Well, he's only young. Give him a chance.
I mean, yeah, but... I mean, of all people, I should not be the one that understands more about that than he does. I mean, I'm only like 3.
Well, some people were born with parents who rolled snake eyes on intelligence. And that's when Anvara dies from being smited by the gods of meta.
Well, it would actually have to be alien eyes because it's 3 ones.
Yeah.
No,
The
some
kitchen
people
hut.
are born with a softer spot on their head. It happens.
Now I'm gonna have to find a creature that has 3 eyes. Good lord. Alright, so you make your way across the bridge. Remy doing his best to keep going in front of audience with his claws up in the air. Audience, do you try to go in front of Remy as he's trying to go in front of you?
No, I don't. I'm just gonna keep walking my normal pace.
Alright. Anvara and Fisher? Which one of you is first? Which one of you is last? You were talking together, so it's normal that you're beside one another, but
I guess side by side works.
Alright.
Yeah, sure. That.
so
Yeah. No, but unless the bridge only fits one person.
no, it's a large bridge. It's probably like
Yeah.
a good
Yeah,
10
we just
feet wide.
Shitty bridge.
All right. Well, when I think about it, about bridges, yeah, it's probably 15 feet wide. So, Remy, you're the first one who arrives near all of these people. You find yourself in front of a human who has a spear, and he does look at you a bit suspiciously and greets you with a simple "Hell, and what might your intentions be, oh adventurers?" And he looks at the rest of the party also.
In Fisher's voice, Raimi says, "We come in peace, we come in peace, we come in peace."
Alright. Looks at your group and says, "Well, if that's true, then you're welcome to cross the bridge and join us if you want to. We're making our way northward, but we have to make a stop first. If you're coming this way, you most likely went through a small town not long ago. This is where we have to go before going north. So some of us are a bit tired. We have one injured, so we're taking the rest of the day off here. You're welcome to stay with us if you want." He still looks suspicious as he's watching all of you. You are heavily armed, even though none of you seem to have drawn their weapon.
I'll turn to the rest of the group. I don't feel a need to stop if the rest...
Hang on. Anvara perks up when she hears that one of their members is wounded. "Oh, might you let me take a look at your wounded comrade?"
He looks at you for a moment, and then he notices your holy symbol. Recognize it. Priest. Yeah. Yeah, sure. I'm sure she'll be grateful for the help. It's nothing very serious, but we think it's only just a bad sprain, but since we don't have any horses, it's a bit hindering. Follow me. And he takes you deeper inside their little camp. It's not very elaborate camp. There are just a few tents. They're starting to prepare a small campfire. You see a woman, most likely human. Would be a bit far-fetched to say half elf, but looks like a human. She is tending to what looks like a very swollen ankle.
All right. Can I just use medicine for that, or should I cast like an actual healing ability?
Well,
since they're resting up.
Well, you could do both. If you want to not use any spells and just treat her as a physician would, give her a better chance at succeeding for their rest, you could just make a medicine roll. If you want to use magic, well, you don't really have to roll anything. You just use magic. A sprained ankle, a cure wound would be enough to.
All right. Well, I'll take a look at her ankle. Like, this will take but a second. I just place my hands. I'm gonna try to like massage the muscle like back into place and like clear up blood paths.
Okay.
So 15 plus 5, that's gonna be a 20 on medicine.
Oh, all right. So you can easily manage to examine the wound, and nothing's broken. It's really just a really bad sprain. Things like that can take a little bit of time to heal, but you are sure she is going to heal, especially with small treatment that you've been giving her. You managed to take some bandages that they had and just replace it in a way that really strengthened the ankle, so it has less chance of moving. You're confident that it's going to help.
All right. It's kind of cheap, but whatever. I'll just get up and tell her I'll ask for my god to look over her recovery.
She says, "Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. And blessed be your God. I hope he is listening. Thank you very much." And she goes back to what she was doing, mostly just looking at what you did, and she seems to be slightly reassured. I'd say make a perception roll.
Perception or insight?
I'll let you choose. It's going to give you different information.
All right. Well, I have proficiency in insight, so that's going to be a 19 on insight.
All right. So you do get a little impression that she is slightly disappointed, but is too polite to say it. So she just says thank you and looks at it again and just it's going to help. Thank you very much.
Fine. I hold up my holy symbol like up to my chest and like let this child walk. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on the swollen ankle.
All right.
Fucking baby. That's a minimum of 4, so.
Don't worry. A swollen ankle. It's just casting Cure Wound will be enough to severely diminish whatever problem it could cause. She probably just went from a full week of recovery to tomorrow morning she's going to be able to walk on it. So
I turn around, rolling my eyes like make me waste a spell slot on this sword.
Oh, but she does express her gratitude. Oh, thank you so much. This would definitely help a lot. We'll most likely be able to get back on the road the day after. That was very generous, and thank you, and blessed be your God.
All right, now a level 2 prayer of healing. No.
Is the one guard that they ran into still with them?
Because he recognized the holy symbol and knows what god she followed, he just gestured toward where the injured person was, but he stayed with you, Remy, and most likely Audience and Fisher, as they were not that far behind.
I guess Remy would have asked in a very different sounding kind of voice to the god, "What brings you around these parts?"
The one with the spear just tells you all, as I've said, we are just on our way to the city of Otanel, but we have to go to a small town before. We have a few party members who are hoping to rejoin with family there. But that's about as precise as he goes. There's something about the fact that you changed voice so easily that seems to bother him slightly. And you can detect that with your passive 17 perception, that his voice does seem to have a little bit of suspicion in it.
And you said the town they're going to, that's the way we came?
Yeah.
I'll tell him you should be careful. We ran into a group of goblins the other day, and we dealt with them, but unfortunately 2 of them got away, so you might want to watch out for that if you're heading that direction.
Well, you hear 2 of them behind the one with the spear say, "Oh, if you dealt with most of them, they're probably not going to try and attack a large group like ours." But the one with the spear just says, "Thank you for the warning," just raising his hand toward those who just spoke. It is always better to be careful. Thank you very much for the warning. And he looks
Goblins are quite tricky creatures.
He looks at those who just spoke, and when he hears Remy say this, I know I'm going to regret saying this later, but he took the words right out of my mouth. You hear one of those arms just go. So you come back out of the group, and Anvara, you go back to your party. Do you want to keep exploring this camp, or go right back to the rest of the party?
Well, since I'm like deeper into the camp, I'm guessing since I was next to injured person, do I notice anything off about anything? Just like quick glance, no, not like investigation deep, just like quick check.
That would be a perception roll. If you're just looking around, listening, perception roll.
All right, it's gonna be a plus 12.
Sorry?
12.
12. All right. All right. So with your passive perception, it averages itself out a bit. You look around. They mostly look like frightened people. Sort of what you'd expect, not from just a group of adventurers or people walking toward another place, but you've seen, being a priest, you've seen people looking like this more often in a situation where a group of people was running away from danger, and they finally believed that they were out of danger, and they just sat down, took a bit of time to recover. Looking around the camp, it gives a feeling that's closer to that than what they were actually saying, that they're just on their way to because they have business. That's about what you can get. From where you are, you do notice that there are maybe 1 or 2 children. They're not halfling or anything. They're 1 or 2 children, but it's sort of a 15 adult and 2 or 3 children in the group. Usually those numbers aren't in the right proportion.
No, that's like people escaping a village. Kind of shit. Okay. All right, I'll make my way back to my group. Wish them well on their journey.
Right. The one with the spear does... thank you very much. It was very appreciated. We'll be able to get back on the road very early next morning, so we do appreciate it. We don't have much, but he starts checking on himself. Just right.
Anvar just raises her hand. Virtue is its own reward. Like guide you.
That's very kind of you. Well, thank you very much. And he looks at all of your group, and he seems to have relaxed much with you, mostly because of what you did, but he still has a bit of suspicion when he's looking at a 7-foot dragonborn, a 3.5-foot Kenku, and a Warforge walking together, smelling a bit like goblin's blood.
Kenkus are not small, are they?
Oh, Kenku are about 5 feet.
5 feet.
Okay.
Sorry. Still, you're still child size.
Looks 3 feet next to
Yeah,
audience.
Everyone.
it was next to audience, you know. But still, you're a 5-foot bird. It's
weird.
You look like a child who has been covered in feathers. Believe me, I've seen it before. It does look like this. So,
Right.
he does seem still to be a bit cautious about the entire group, but with you he seems to have relaxed, mostly because of what you did and because he saw the emblem of your faith. So,
Okay. Well, do I notice that he's like sketched out by a motley crew of misfits rolling with?
he is cautious,
All right.
but not higher than this. He's just cautious.
Okay, I just look at him like, worry not, you're of heart and of mind. Then I look at audience, mostly of heart.
Does audience catch this?
Does he catch it? He does not catch it.
So you have just been complimented on your passion and devotion.
Okay. I believe that.
Well, that's what you get anyway, because she did say of heart and mind, and she stopped and looked at you and said mostly of heart. So she just complimented your passion and devotion.
I'm just, I get it every day. I just shrug. People like me.
Just looking back at the dragon. Alright, we should
Gotcha.
probably start pressing on before we just develop a new side quest of settling a village with these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at one point, it's gonna go from thank you to being weirdly awkward.
Yeah.
We were hired to do a job, so we should be on our way.
All right.
Yeah, really.
So you press on with the gratitude of this group and keep on going.
Alright.
All right.
Fucking spell slot.
Raimi just like lets out a big sigh of relief as they leave the group. Instantly relaxes.
All right. So you leave the group behind, with a lot of them looking cautiously at you as you are distancing yourself. But nothing else happened with them. They just thank you and let you go on your way. The rest of the day is pretty.
After we leave,
Yes.
or leave a little bit down the road, I'd like to talk to
Yeah, sure.
Remy for a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of come up and go. I'm sorry it's taking us a little bit to get used to your method of communication. I'm used to a very more straight to the point approach.
We're sorry, Raimi. We'll get it eventually. And pats it, or I guess tries to like pat his shoulder.
He's tall, but you can reach.
Mm-hmm. I'm only 1.5 feet taller than you.
Yeah, but still, he kind of has to like reach his arm up.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll get there eventually. Just don't be too upset if it takes us a little bit.
Kind of like shakes his head, and then minor illusions a rainbow.
Everything's gonna be
I don't understand what that means, but I think I get the gist.
And for some
Raimi
reason,
is smiling happily regardless.
And for some reason, you hear someone saying in the wind, "Everything's going to be fine." I don't know if you have this in the US, but in Canada, we have these drawings of rainbows everywhere. Sometimes 5 or 6 in the same windows. They all say that everything's gonna be fine because of what we're all living right now.
Mm.
It's just like above the table, Raimi just associates rainbows with happiness and wonder.
Uh-huh.
Oh, usually it's what
Makes sense.
a lot of people associate it with. All right. Anyone else? All right. So
No, just praying for the well-being of complaining mixed-sprained ankle.
people
Karen.
keep complaining, and it's hard being a mortal race, All right, so you keep on going for the rest of the day. It's pretty uneventful. From where's my mouse? All right. So you keep on going down this road. The road does follow the lower side of the lake. So up until you are ready to go to bed, it's quiet. You have the sun shining on you, a very gentle breeze, and for hours on end, to your left, you can see a huge lake with not much happening on it. You do see from time to time just fish go. Then another one tries, it get snagged by a bird, and then it leaves. But that's about it. The rest of the day is very uneventful, and you manage to make your way to a place that feels comfortable for a campsite. The day is slowly ending. The sky is slowly turning red and gold. You want to press on throughout the night. You might be able to cover the rest of the distance toward the next town if you do, but you will be arriving early in the morning, so you'll be very tired. Or you can take your second night of rest under the stars and then keep on going next morning.
I want my spell slot back, please.
I mean, I'm fine resting here. Made a good travels today.
All right.
Whatever you guys need.
All right.
Let sleeping dogs lie, Ray.
So, make a perception roll to find your camping site.
14.
That's gonna be 7.
I knew I wasted all my good rolls. 11.
Oh wait, no, 6.
It's also going to be a 17.
Yeah.
I am rolling really well tonight.
Anvara, you said how much?
I said 17, but I corrected 16.
All right. Well, you easily find something that's a little bit out of the beaten path. So you feel pretty confident that you're safe. You don't see anything anywhere around you. You don't see any debris that could hide any monsters, unless they're all small goblins who just happen to be following you all day or all night long. You bed down, and night is pretty uneventful. You find yourself in front of the campfire, preparing to go to sleep. Is there anything you'd like to do, prepare, talk? You are maybe 2 days away from reaching your destination.
2 days.
I give it a little prayer.
I could barely hear you on that. The sound was very choppy.
Half of that cut out.
I just said, like, do a little prayer. That's it. That's all I can think of.
All right. Well, you don't have to do anything. I'm just giving you a opportunity to interact if you want to.
I will give a louder prayer to the dragons.
You get the elf making quiet prayer. You look at the dragonborn, and makes his own prayer.
All right. I hold my holy symbol up, and I'm gonna just discreetly cast a light on it, just a bright white light.
One-upping back and forth.
Make a. Well, actually, what are the components of light?
It's verbal, actually.
It's just verbal?
Just sneak it into
verbal
the
or
prayer.
material.
Then I'd say make a stealth check.
With disadvantage because I'm wearing chainmail. Really?
No, I'm not going to give you disadvantage. It's
all right, thank you.
It's basically just to know if you are able to cast without audience noticing that you're casting.
Well, I mean, my dex is still +4, so 17.
Audience, are you trying to outpray her?
No, but I will notice. Well, when I notice the light come off her, do I recognize the light spell? Because I've seen it. Or can I try and recognize the light spell?
Well, I'd say it depends on what are your intention. If you're just trying to outshine her pridefully without really looking at her, I'd say it's gonna go with your passive perception. If you're actually trying to outshine her and watch her feel, oh, you're better, then I'd say you'd be entitled to make a perception roll.
No, I'd watch. I'd see her do it. After I said the louder thing, it was definitely a very targeted, louder prayer that I said, and I would have looked.
Then I'll allow you to make a perception roll.
Alright. I got a 17.
And what did you roll, Nva?
17.
17. Usually the attacker always wins.
Which one of us is the attacker in this circumstance, though?
I think the perception is the attack.
I attack your stealth with my perception.
That's a pretty good question.
I think perception attacks, because I was using stealth and he was looking for my stealth.
Yeah.
Whoever has the
I'd agree with that.
The better base of the ability they were using.
I'd agree with that. One does feel a bit more protective than the other one. So, yeah, alright. Audience, you see her do this, and for a moment, you sort of impress it. Oh. I know that spell.
Yep. Raimi seeing this has suddenly popped up and has like anime sparkly girl eyes on it and kind of like clapping.
I'll turn to Edwald and I'll say, I didn't know you could cast light. Nice spell.
It's literally a prerequisite to be a cleric of life.
It's like, Noir, why are you so fascinated by light? And he keeps clapping.
And then I'll casually say another prayer and cast Divine Favor on my sword.
What the fuck does that do?
It's gonna bright shine harder than yours.
Really? Brighter than 20 feet?
Well, if your prayer empowers you with Divine Radiance until the event your weapon attacks deal an extra 1d4 radiant damage on the hit, and basically my sword glows with radiant energy.
Raimi
Stealth magic somewhere.
Yeah.
Raimi turns his head toward the now shiny sword and dashes over that and starts poking at it. It's like,
oh boy. Audience, were you trying to hide that you're casting something, or do you just want to?
No, at this point, audience has changed from actually caring about the religious aspect of this to just winning.
Alright, so Anva, you have a distinct feeling that he's just trying to outshine you. And in this case, quite literally.
Raimi just continues poking at his long sword, just like smiling the best he can with glee.
So Alvaro just responded with light as like a jape, just like as a jab at him like, being a obnoxious little bitch about it, like loudly.
No, but it's good. It's a good escalation. You give a small prayer, he gives a bigger prayer. You make a light, he makes a bigger light.
And then Raimi just looks between you two and just makes a rainbow.
It's like the next escalation is actually not that great because the next step to that is sacred flame flying out from my holy symbol.
And the next step for me is Divine Smiting.
Yeah, fuck that. Alright, time to cast Shield of Faith and let's go.
Religious wars.
I just need you to picture Raimi just like, as you two are doing this, just like going back and forth, just like...
I really don't mind if you want to duke it out because of your religion. I'm just gonna state that don't forget you're starting this fight and you've already, I think, exhausted half of your spells.
Nope. Light is a cantrip.
Yeah, that's true.
I've used one of my spells. But my spell actually technically is still active and gives my weapon 1d4 radiant damage, so it would be beneficial in a fight.
So,
All right.
So, Anvara, do you really use Divine Flame to make it look like that your symbol is emanating sacred fire?
Yeah.
All
Fuck
right.
yeah.
So, audience,
All right.
you see her look at you, and then does a prayer, and then you see this burst of light and fire from her holy symbols.
How close together are they?
Right now, I'm pretty sure they're probably within 10 feet of one another if they're trying to outshine one another like this.
Is it windy?
No.
I'm gonna cast fog cloud on top of all of them.
So, audience, how do you respond to the flash of fire and light?
Does fog cloud descend on us?
I want to know what you want to do before I'm gonna say this.
Okay. Again, I would roll a perception to see if it was a spell. So.
Well, at this.
I mean, are you trying to hide it? Is she trying to hide it, or no? Or is she just at this point just trying to outshine me?
Oh, hang on. Is Sacred Flame is verbal and what's S again?
Somatic.
Okay.
Hand motions.
Yeah.
Oh well, then I'm just gonna grab my symbol and just go like this, as like flames fly out of it.
And so you get this pillar of light and fire coming from this tiny holy symbol. And yeah, I'd say, audience, it's probably not hard to recognize that she's using a spell. Unless you try...
Okay.
Unless Andara
So she's trying to outshine me?
Yeah. It's basically a
Okay.
question of who can shine brighter than the other.
If there was an
Alright.
enemy nearby, he sure fucking saw us by now.
Oh, yes.
What did you
within
shoot
100
what did
feet
you
knows
shoot
you're
the
there.
fire at? Just into the sky?
Yeah, just a radiance around me, like 5 feet. Like you're not affected by it.
Okay. I'll tip my head to the sky and said, but the dragons allowed me to do this, and I'll breathe lightning up into the sky. Use my breath.
You see this flash of energy going upward as if a thunderbolt had just fallen. And just as audience starts to look down to see if Anvare is impressed, you see this fog bank fall on the entire group. No one can see one another. You can barely see the lights that you have put so much effort in creating.
Okay, I just use my holy symbol as like a light source and just like wade my way through the fog. Get out of there, like GG, man.
I will also say, are you guys done? This is utterly ridiculous. We have better things to be doing.
Deity-sama needs to notice us. And yeah, I think he did. So yeah, I'm done. The fuckery has ceased.
Audience will say, of course I'm done, I won. And then sheath his blade.
I think the only people who really won that would have been any, a possible other band of goblins nearby that you both just beaconed our presence to.
Is the fog cloud still out?
Well, Fisher, do you drop the fog cloud once everyone says that they're done, or do you keep it there?
Once everybody's says they're done, I'll drop it.
Yeah, so as the fog cloud clears, you see Raimi on the ground, kind of like hugging his legs, looking all sad.
I will. Actually, would I even understand? That's why. Nope. Never mind.
All right. So, after spending half of your magical energy trying to impress one another,
That was all cantrips.
Mine was not all cantrips.
I know, of course, it's a Dragonborn. You're not gonna use cantrips to impress anyone.
Oh.
That's how Dragonborn thinks.
Also, you can't.
Alright, so eventually darkness falls again on this poor place, who most likely a lot of animals living there thought that the sun had come up, but disappointingly enough, no, it's the night, and silence falls again. Oh man, I wanted to make something. Now I don't know what to do with this. It was entertaining enough. Alright, so you bed down, you prepare a small fire. Of course, you were by a lake, so you most likely filled up your water skin, so you can easily finish the day.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I passed out rations to everyone, so we're now at whenever we were hungry.
Right.
So, after today, we're just a day away from our destiny, right?
2 days. It
2
was
days.
2 nights under the stars, and then 1 day in a small town, and 1 day in the village you're going to.
All right. Well, then if we got like 2 water skins each for the ones that need to drink, I'm just gonna go ahead and prepare another spell instead of create and destroy water, since we haven't been using it.
Well, technically you should have used it at the beginning of the day, but since you did go by a lake, that's why I didn't say
Alright.
anything. Alright, so you all bed down, you eat your rations. I'm pretty sure some of you are gonna try and cook it, because, you know, just dried food, it's... I don't know why, I keep picturing this Dragonborn looking at his dried rations, looking at the fire, and wondering if he can barbecue it in some way.
Well, I just used my lightning, so can't take that.
Well, it might be a bit excessive on a ration. Dragonborn likes to do things big, but not disintegration big.
It's a flash fry. Just a real quick char.
Real quick
Yeah.
shot.
Alright, so you bed down and everything goes really well. Fisher just stands in the middle of the group and goes into his sentry mode. Anvara, go into your trance. So I'd say Anvara and Fisher. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
because I have to remain motionless, I can't turn. I would take a couple steps away from everybody and then face them towards whatever direction seems most
So
open.
in your 8 hours of sentry rest, you are allowed a total of 2 hours doing something else. You could be
Right.
just changing direction every 15 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, that works.
So, since Anvara and Fisher are the two that are still awake for this during the night, I'd say, Fisher, you are in sentry mode, so you're paying attention. And Anvara, you have such a high perception that you would see it. In the middle of the night, far off, you'd say maybe 600 or 700 feet away from where you are, you both start it's really the middle of the night. There seems to be a bit of a cloud cover also coming in, so it's a bit harder to see. But with 2 moons, well, it's usually not too hard to at least have a bit of light. Far in the distance, you see those groups of pink lights. 3 pink lights. 3 pink lights appearing in the skies, turning around one another, slowly falling to the ground. When they fall to the ground, you see this small explosion of light, and you can barely make out 2 shapes in the distance. They seem to be fighting one another. One of them throws itself at the other reacts to it. You see small flashes of lights where the 2 of them meet. This happens for maybe 1 or 2 minutes. And then suddenly these flashes of light starts dissipating. You see one becoming a ball of light and pink light and disappearing, and you see the other one walking off, not toward you but toward the darkness, and then nothing else for the rest of the night.
How high in the sky did they start? The lights start.
The light literally started falling from the clouds, so quite high.
So way up there. Okay.
It took a good while for them spiraling down to reach the ground.
And at what point during the night was this?
Just a bit after midnight, so probably 1, maybe 12:30, 12:45 in the middle of the night.
I'll look over to Anvara and did you see that?
Yes. But things I can't for the life of me tell you what they were, but yes, mysterious indeed.
Yeah, there's a question. Have I seen anything like that or know of any spell or anything that
you can make a history roll.
Okay. That was so close. It was 18 and then it rolled to a 4. So that's going to be 7.
No. Yes. Try as you might, you can't think of anything that looks like that from any of the studies you've made.
Okay.
Anvara, you've seen this. I would allow you to make history check also if you want to.
All right. 19 plus 2, 21.
All right. And also, seeing as you're the only one who actually was born and raised in Estrin, so in the Mistle Island chain.
Well, shit, I lied.
No, you didn't lie. You've never seen it before. But there's something that creeps up in the back of your mind about something you've read a really, really long time ago. The event itself doesn't tell you anything, but the 3 orbs of light falling from the skies with pinkish colors. That element, and only that element, strikes something in your mind. You remember reading something about when shards brush against the shard in which the shattered continent is.
Okay. Hang on. Gmail. Is there anything?
All right, so
PDF?
in the campaign setting, another shard is basically another plane, but a much more restrained version of this. So as to when sometime a shard, a plane could be an entire world. A shard is maybe a portion of a world, an island or something like that. They are fragments of reality where the light of creation hits them and creates these other realms also. So it is basically one of those fragments of a realm brushing on the plane of existence in which the shattered continent exists.
Okay. I'll relay most of the story that I remember to Fisher.
Well, that is certainly sounds like something that we should check out. At
After
least,
the contract.
is it? That's a good question. No, actually, no, never mind. I mean, it's kind of just right over there. I figure we wait until morning though, so that whatever was fighting is long gone by then.
Fair enough. Anyways, the two mortals need to sleep.
True.
The mortal needs their sleep. Let them rest.
So Weakling can't even have a shining competition without burning half the spell slots. We used to have shine offs all the time in my comments.
I've never really understood the divine. Yet,
Well,
much prefer to learn magic on my own. No god's ever given me anything, so I figure, what do I owe them?
Well, actually, for you, Anvara, this statement would probably brush you the wrong way, because if
her left eye slightly twitches.
because if
Fisher would not pick up on that.
if Warforged are suddenly becoming self-aware, and it is because they're receiving souls, it's because a god granted this, most likely.
Where does your life come from, Fisher?
I don't know. And until that is one of the main things I'm trying to figure out. But if it did come from a god, they have not made themselves known. And
Gods owe us nothing. We owe them all, but we cannot demand anything from.
unlike some of the more organic races of this continent, I was made by a living being some 3,000 years ago. And I find it easier to believe that something to do with how I was constructed and me finding my own will is to do with my sentience, not a gift from some god.
But
I
your
fought
life itself
hard to be able to control my actions.
is life itself not a gift, Bishop.
I don't know. Not to me, it's not. Or my person specifically. I mean, you may have been gifted with life. I like to think I fought to take control of mine. Nobody gave me anything when I woke up. I had to take what I was owed for my own.
So you've taken everything from your creator?
I don't know my creator. I know whose possession I was in when I woke up, and I like to think I took almost everything. Unfortunately, some of them I was not able to take their lives. But I took the rest of what they had. It is now somewhere on the bottom of the ocean.
Well, life doesn't come from nowhere. Maybe one day we'll find that out together. I will guide you towards the light and towards the guiding word of my God, who has given life. And who knows, maybe. Did the crow wake up?
He's dreaming.
Yeah, he's just snoring loudly.
Should we have a wager then, Fisher?
Oh, I would like nothing more.
All right. I will wager you my holy symbol that there is a God and that it has given.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm not saying I don't believe in the existence of gods. There is...
No, I'm saying it gave you life. Your life has come from God. Not my God specifically, a God in general.
A God. No, that is... I don't... I would love to accept that wager, but I mean, I'm not sure I have anything of equal value to that. I'm not very...
In exchange, if I win, you must accept the word and the truth of my light and light. It's an easy way to get a level cleric, man. Come on.
Dude, I got 9 wisdom. I ain't doing that.
Yeah, we got strength, that's all you need.
However, say you are right, and it does come from some god, but it's just not your god. Would I not then be insulting whatever god granted me this by following yours?
But this God gave you life. Is life not a universal concept?
Here, now that I've actually rummaged through my equipment a little bit, and remember, I did get a little... where did I put it? Trying to remember.
In exchange, I want your soul.
So it's a warlock level.
I will pull out a little belaying pin
A what?
A belaying pin circle for sailing ropes. And go.
All right. 2 very emotionally valuable.
Here. If it is a god that gave me light, I think this might hold similar sentimental value.
Very well. Like, this is the kind of quest that would take like years until we find Russell Celestial.
This is a long.
Don't worry. If I'm going to give an answer to this bet, it will most likely be at the end of the campaign or near it.
Epilogue session is when this comes back into play.
Plot twist: I become my own god.
There you go.
It's like, who's your god now?
Psych! I was the one who gave you life.
I just didn't know it
I created you in my past life. Ooh, what you going?
Yeah.
Ultimisia, is that you?
All right.
Probably your father.
So, we end this episode on this interesting bet. If Fisher was born out of arcane knowledge, at least if his awareness came out of arcane knowledge, Fisher wins. If his awareness came out of a godly gift, Anvara wins. And one day we might actually find an answer to this bet.
So how much do I have to give to your Patreon to win?
Damn.
It's like, you don't have to give a number, but you can give you can give zeros, and we can do the rest.
You place 1, and then you roll 1d20 for zeros.
Oh boy, that's a big variance there.
Yeah.
If I'm multi-class into Divination Wizard, can I swap that D20 out?
Because I'd like to use my portent roll.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's an interesting bet, and I'm actually very interested to see how the end of this bet is going to happen. Whether or not I planned something to be answered, well, now I absolutely do want to have an answer to this. So, one day, when you're high enough level, you might actually find the answer. But until then, you just finish your rest and wake up bright and early in next morning with this bet, and each of you going with the knowledge that you're probably right. You know, probably.
Oh, Anvar is certain. There's not a doubt in her mind that she's right.
All right, then we're going to end this session here. Next session, the rest of the road toward the quest. Maybe even we're going to have time to finish the quest. Who knows? All right, so thank you everyone for watching this. If you enjoyed this, well, we're very glad. We would be even more glad if you showed it to us in some way. Maybe something subtle, just say something in the chat, or support the stream by following us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. And if you decide to follow us with Twitter, I know that I'm not the kind of person that makes a lot of comments, but that's mostly because I'm introverted. If you have the courage to actually make a comment, I will read it. I will respond to it if there's a response to be given. Unless you're just saying bad stuff, then I will most likely not answer. And if you have something to say to one of the player, I will transmit the message. If you want to support us in a greater way, well, you can do just like our elves suggested and become a Patreon. Or make a donation if you don't want a recurring charge. Or you can just spread the word about this channel, because it would help us a lot. As I've said, since I'm introverted, it is very hard for me to just barge in a conversation in the universe of Twitter and say, hey, how are you? That's actually... I'm crying inside every time I have to do
Worst
this.
nightmare.
Very close from it. I've actually had pretty awful nightmare, and I wouldn't put them on the same level of that, but it's very close. So any help, anything would help, and would be greatly appreciated. So I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see all of you again next Wednesday. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy, especially in those times. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.